Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Everyday School Day with the Butterfly Princess. This week we are discussing lecture 10 of the series into the course called Jesus and His Jewish Influences, taught by Professor Jody Magnus, and lecture 10 of the series is entitled Apocalyptic Literature and the Son of Man. So here goes. So we'll start off with the Maccabean Revolt. So the Maccabean Revolt and the end of days, now that's a poignant mixture of historical and apocalyptic themes. So, the Maccabean Revolt is an intriguing moment in history, full of resistance and faith. It was a Jewish rebellion against the Seleucid Empire in the 2nd century BCE. This revolt is often seen as a battle for religious freedom and identity. Now, if we tie this into the concept of the end of days or eschatology, these apocalyptic works envisage a transformative period over humanity, often involving a reckoning or judgment. In some religious texts, these themes emerge embracing ideas of redemption and rebirth after great tribulations. Apocalyptic literature is indeed a fascinating genre, blending suspense, revelation, and often a deep dive into human nature. um, uh, sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, and social constructs. This literal style usually presents a narrative where the world is facing or has gone catastrophic changes. Themes often include survival, the collapse of civilization, and a journey towards renewal or transformation. Think about work like Cormac McCarthy's The Road or Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale. Each paints a vivid picture of a world drastically altered and how humans adapt or resist these changes. But these books are rich in symbolism and prosperity prophecy, offering a grand tapestry of apocalyptic themes. So the Book of Daniel, known for its narratives and visions, Daniel presents a world of political upheaval and divine sovereignty. His visions, particularly the ones concerning beasts and the statue, serves as metaphors for empire and the ultimate victory of God's kingdom. The Book of Enoch. This apocryphal work offers detailed visions surrounding cosmic matters, including fallen angels and the final judgment. Enoch explores themes of morality and divine justice, resonating deeply with ideas of accountability. The Book of Ezra, often reflecting on the hardships faced by the Israelites, Ezra connects past events with future hopes. This book underscores themes of restoration and Book of Jubilees. Acting as a retelling of the biblical history, The Book of Jubilees introduces themes of time, purity, and the unfolding divine plan, offering insight into divine order amidst chaos. Book of Revelations. This is perhaps the most iconic in terms of apocalyptic literature. Revelations is renowned for its vivid imagery and prophecy. It captures the cosmic battle between good and evil, accumulating in a new world order. So let's take a closer look. So, Book of Daniel, historical context. It was written, it's believed to have been written during the Babylonian exile. It reflects the experience of the Jewish people under foreign domination. Key themes: visions of future kingdoms, divine sovereignty, and the ultimate triumph over earthly powers. Symbolism: the statue, dream, and four beasts provide symbolic representations of successful empires. Book of Enoch, origin and influence. A part of Jewish Apocrypha offering insights into early Jewish and Christian thoughts about the cosmos. Central ideas: fallen angels, the cosmic battle between good and evil, and divine judgment. Enoch explores the consequences of divine rebellion and subsequent redemption. Reflection. Book of Ezra storyline focuses on the return of the Jewish people from Babylon to Jerusalem and the restoration of the temple. Themes of renewal, restoration, and fealty to the law and covenant with God. Ezra champions religious and social obedience amidst adversity. But the Book of Jubilees, nature, known as the Little Genesis, it covers revelation, and repetition, providing a chronological structure to biblical narratives. Emphasis on cycles. It also examines law, purity, and divine order, focusing on chronological and moral cycles. Book of Revelations. This was believed to have been written during the Roman persecution, blending apocalyptic imagery and hope for salvation. Dynamic imagery. Four horsemen, beasts, and the New Jerusalem embodied cosmic struggles leading to rejuvenation. Flood stories. These narratives are indeed captivating and feature prominently in various cultures. They're often seen as apocalyptic due to their themes of destruction, renewal, and transformation. Throughout folklore, flood stories illustrate the idea of cleansing and rebirth, while each tale might differ in specifics, they generally reflect universal themes. Common elements in flood stories: universal destruction. The flood washes away corruption or sin, signifying an end and a new beginning. This represents a reset button on society, making way for a fresh start. Survival and hope. Key figures like Noah in the biblical flood story or a character in the Epic of Gilgamesh are chosen to rebuild life. These survivors often carry the weight of knowledge and morality, tasked with rejuvenating the world. Divine judgment and mercy. The flood is a divine intervention, punishing wrongs but also paving a path for redemption. It reflects cosmic justice and encourages interpretation of ethical behaviour. Some notable flood stories. So we have the biblical story of Noah's Ark. Here the flood purges the world of sin, with Noah's Ark as a vessel of salvation and continuity. Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh features a flood narrative similar to Noah's, depicting several survival guided by knowledge and wisdom. Ancient Hindu texts. Manu saved society after a great flood, highlighting the need for virtue and diligence in rebuilding lives. These narratives often invite reflection on moral purity and the cynical nature of life, a theme that seems to resonate. Let's delve deeper into flood stories in both the Old and New Testament contexts. These texts provide rich narratives and are key to understanding apocalyptic literature, so Noah's Ark. In the Old Testament, the story of Noah's Ark, Genesis chapter 6 through 9, is one of the most iconic flood narratives. It portrays corruption and divine judgment. Humanity's moral decay prompts God to cleanse the earth through a flood. It's an dream of divine justice where wrongdoing meets a catastrophic end. Hope and renewal. Noah is chosen by God to preserve life, building the ark as a heaven. This journey serves as a metaphor for resilience and faith in times of tribulation. After the flood subsides, the rainbow symbolises a covenant of renewal and hope. So, as well, we know in the Bible that there have been many examples of a covenant between God and his people. We had the first covenant between Moses on the Mount of Sinai, and in the New Testament we have the example of Jesus' death representing a covenant between God and his people. Lessons of restoration. The story encourages reflection on the importance of moral steadfastness and the possibility of starting anew. New Testament flood narratives. While the New Testament doesn't revolve around an actual flood narrative like that in Genesis, it does use flood imagery metaphorically. For example, in Matthew, chapter 24, verses 37 through to 39, Jesus speaks of the day of Noah as a parallel to the end times, suggesting vigilance and preparation. Symbolism of water. Water in the New Testament often symbolises purification and baptism, tying back to themes of renewal found in flood stories. So we have the example where John the Baptist baptizes various people. We have the example of when John the Baptist baptizes Jesus. So baptism is a sign of renewal, washing away the sins. Apocalyptic imagery. Elements from the Old Testament, like flood descriptions, are utilised to offer prolific visions and teachings about redemption and vigilance against spiritual complacency. Enochic literature, often found within the body of writings that is attributed to Enoch, is quite intriguing. especially given the apocalyptic themes and its influence on both Jewish and early Christian thoughts. Key aspects of Enochic literature, origins and composition. The Book of Enoch is a part of the Jewish apocrypha and isn't included in the biblical canon for most traditions. It's made up of several sections, the most famous being the Book of Watches, which examines fallen angels and cosmic justice. Themes of cosmic conflicts. Enochic text often delves into celestial battles and moral narratives, providing a framework for understanding divine justice and order. The idea of cosmic struggle serves as a metaphor for spiritual and moral challenges. Divine judgment and justice. The literature underscores accountability, displaying how divine forces respond to early transgression. It invites reflection on the repercussions of actions and requests for redemption. Celestial insights. Enoch is a character granted visions and insights of heavenly realms, offering a unique perspective on divine wisdom and prophecy. Influence on later traditions. Enochic themes have been influential on later apocalyptic literature, including the New Testament. It focuses on justice and divine order, reverberates thought through other texts, encouraging believers to align with spiritual truths. The Son of Man narrative is a fascinating aspect of apocalyptic literature, often rich in symbolism and prophecy. Whether in the context of the Old Testament, Enochic literature, or the New Testament, the themes surrounding the Son of Man often offer profound insights into divine justice and visions. Enochic literature. Visions of the Son of Man. In the Book of Enoch, the Son of Man is depicted as a cosmic figure embodying justice and divine favour. This figure is often associated with heavenly authority and a role in final judgment. Role of mediator. The Son of Man acts as a mediator between the divine and earthly realms, illustrating the relationships between humanity and divine plans. Themes of hope and justice. The figure brings hope of justice and restoration, challenging believers to uphold moral integrity and anticipate divine redemption. So, New Testament context. Jesus is the Son of Man. In Christian traditions, Jesus frequently refers to himself using the title Son of Man in various New Testament writings. The Son of Man symbolises his earthly mission and heavenly authority. Messianic prophecies. The phrase links to prophecies in Daniel concerning future revelations and redemption, providing a framework for understanding the salvific mission of Christ, promoter of justice. As both Redeemer and Judge, the Son of Man embodies themes of mercy, justice, and transformation that underpin gospel teachings. So, Nickelberg's work, Ancient Judaism and Christian Origins, provides a detailed analysis of eschatological themes, and Chapter 5, titled Eschatology, delves deep into the intriguing subject. Core concepts of eschatology. Definition and importance. Eschatology is the study of last things, the ultimate destiny of humanity and the cosmos. It reflects on prophecies, divine judgments, and the anticipated renewal of creation. Jewish and Christian perspectives. Nichols Berg examines the development of eschatological ideas in both Judaism and Christianity, highlighting similarities and differences. Apocalyptic literature. The chapter delves into the role of apocalyptic texts in shaping eschatological views, exploring how such literature fosters hope aimed adversity and exonerates ethnical living. Connection to historical context. Eschatological beliefs often arise from historical situations of crisis or repression, serving as sources of hope and resilience. Future transformation. Eschatology anticipates visions of a transformed future, new heavens, new earths where justice prevails. So a bit deep. Jewish eschatological thought. Nicholsberg examines how Second Temple Judaism ideas, eschatological ideas shaped and influenced later Christian thought. This includes Masonic expectations and hopes for restored Israel, where justice thrives. Role of apocalyptic literature. Key texts like the Book of Daniel and Enoch's writings are pivotal in expressing eschatological visions. They serve as both warnings and promises, urging the faithful to live righteously in anticipation of divine judgment and renewal. Christian development of eschatology. The chapter illuminates how early Christians adapted Jewish eschatological themes to fit their understanding of Jesus' role as the Messiah and Redeemer. This involved a shift from national restoration to a universal focus on salvation and final judgment. Symbolism and imagery. Eschatological texts often use rich imagery to convey the final transformation of the world. To convey the world, such as new creations and divine courts. Practical implications for believers. Eschatology impacts significant moral implications, urging believers to act justly and maintain hope amidst adversity. Nichols-Berg discusses how Jesus and his followers reinterpreted Jewish eschatology themes, emphasizing moral and spiritual preparation for the end of times. This restoration highlights both continuity and change in theological perspectives. Key themes of the Hellenistic Age. The Hellenistic Age was characterized by the blending of Greek and Eastern cultures, leading to profound changes in religious and philosophical thought. Impacts on Jewish thought. Jewish communities encountered Hellenistic philosophy and policies, altering their writings and practices. Consider the influence of Greek ideas on Jewish texts like the Septuagint, which was a translation of Hebrew scriptures into Greek. Political dynamics. The era witnessed the rise and fall of empires, notably Alexander the Great's conquest affecting Jewish autonomy and leadership. Philosophical interactions. Jewish scholars engaged with Greek philosophy, intriguing aspects of logic and ethics into their own teachings. This exchange enriched Jewish intellectual life, adding depth to theological discourse. Social challenges. Jewish communities face social challenges, including pressures to conform to Hellenistic norms, leading to internal debates about identity and tradition preservation. This period is a testament to the strength and adaptability of cultural traditions, offering timeless lessons in navigating both personal and social cultural transformations. Enochic literature is a fascinating collection of Jewish texts attributed to the biblical figure Enoch, offering deep insights into the themes of themology, cosmology, and eschatology. So, the Book of Enoch, also known as One Enoch, this text comprises several sections, including the Book of Watches, Book of Parables, and Astronomical. Each section delves into different visions received by Enoch, focusing on celestial mysteries and moral teachings. Cosmological exploration. Enochic texts explore intricate cosmological structures and events such as heavenly journeys and angelic interactions. This cosmic viewpoint expands our understanding of divine culture and ethnical responsibilities. Rowling, known for its apocalyptic undertones, Enochic literature offers insights into divine justice and eschatological expectations. It addresses themes of judgments, hopes, and restorations, guiding adherence towards ethnic living. Influence on religious thought. While not considered part of the canonical Hebrew Bible, Enochic literature significantly influenced Jewish and earlier Christian thought, shaping ideas about angels and spiritual realms. Throughout these texts, Enoch receives revelations about the moral state of the world, urging righteousness and warning against wickedness. Characteristics of apocalyptic literature. Apocalyptic texts are rich in symbolism, depicting cosmic battles, surreal visions, and heavenly beings. This imagery conveys complex theological concepts and moral truths in a captivating manner. Narrative format, often presented as revelations or visions, these narratives involved celestial journeys or encounters with divine messages. They provide an avenue for exploring profound mysteries and ethical dilemmas. Themes of duality play heavily in apocalyptic literature. Good versus evil, light versus darkness, emphasizing ultimate justice and cosmic order. These conflicts depict an ongoing struggle, eventually leading to resolution and peace. By the revelations of divine truths, by unveiling divine mysteries, apocalyptic literature helps believers understand cosmic plans beyond mere human perception. This revelation enhances spiritual insight and allows for a greater depth grasp of divine justice and mercy. Hope and encouragement. In times of adversity, apocalyptic literature texts provide hope for revealing eventful triumph and restoration. They encourage perseverance and faithfulness amidst trials. Call to action and repentance. These texts often serve as a catalyst for ethnical and spiritual transformation, urging readers to amend their lives in anticipation of future events. And this is a story that I've made. This is my own story that I've made up about apocalyptic literature. So it's entitled The Revelations of Chloe. In a cosy corner of the library, amidst the comfort of soft lighting and the rustle of pages, sat Chloe, a young woman with an inquisitive mind and a heart full of questions. Her soul found solace in reading and the pursuit of wisdom. Today her eyes eagerly danced over the ancient text of the Book of Enoch, each symbol and vision beckoning her deeper into a world of mystery and revelation. As Chloe read about heavenly battles and divine judgment, she felt the weight of the cosmos enveloping her mind. The vivid imagery painted scenes of angels locked in timeless conflicts with sinister forces and celestial courts presiding over the face of humanity. Chloe pondered the meaning behind such symbols, contemplating how they might reflect the struggles and triumphs of her own life. How were she and the world around her part in the cosmic tapestry? The narrative unfolded before her eyes, a pragmatic vision urging humanity to righteousness, promising peace and renewal. Chloe found herself considering the moral implications of choices and actions in the face of apocalyptic judgment. What did justice and love truly mean? How could she embody these principles in daily life? She felt a stirring within her own role in the journey towards spiritual growth and ethnical living. Inspired by the call to justice, Chloe visualised herself among the vibrant community gatherings. She cherished sharing insights and nurturing discussions. She imagined fostering conversations and explored the themes of hope and redemption, encouraging others to reflect upon life's dualities and mediate on ethnical. With each page, Chloe discovered layers of meaning, the narrative both a mirror to her own soul and a lens to view the world anew. Her exploration of apocalyptic literature had become a journey, a quest for understanding the profound relationship between cosmic narratives and personal realities. As Curtis gently closed the book, she felt a tranquil sense of purpose. As Chloe gently closed the book, she felt a tranquil sense of purpose. Her path was entwined with timeless wisdom of the ancient text, offering guidance and hope amidst uncertainty. She was reminded that every great story, even every symbolic vision, provided not only answers but also the spark to continue asking questions and seeking deep truths. Chloe's encounter with apocalyptic literature reveals how these texts influence thought and action, inspiring both personal reflection and community encouragement. And that concludes this week's episode of Everyday School Day with the Butterfly Princess. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode, and I hope you can join me next week for the next episode in the series. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.